Tomb Raider is the newest video game adaptation to come out of Hollywood. It is not a prequel nor sequel to Angelina Jolie's two Tomb Raider movies. It's a reboot of the Tomb Raider film series, and it stands on its own and stars Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. Just like in the 2013 reboot game, Lara Croft is inexperienced, she's younger, she's vulnerable, and she acts out of necessity, as Lara Croft, while trying to discover a secret her father was holding and trying to find her father on the island of Yamatai, ends up shipwrecked on the island of Yamatai and comes face to face with this organization called Trinity, who is led by Matthias, played by Walton Goggins, and she is coerced into helping Matthias find the tomb of Himiko. Now, for some of you, you might know that these video game adaptations don't really go over too well. I personally like a couple, like the two Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies. Don't think those are good movies. Definite guilty pleasures there. The Prince of Persia movie, I think, is actually a competent video game movie. It's a lot of fun. It's got some daring escapes. It's actually got a little bit of character development for the character of Dastan, and it introduced me to who Jake Gyllenhaal was as an actor, and I'm really proud of that movie for doing that. And to an extent, I admire Assassin's Creed, at least from a distance. All the other video game movies can just go fuck off. They all suck. But this is, finally, a video game adaptation that doesn't absolutely suck. They really tried with this movie, and that's what I can say about this movie. This is just escapism fun. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing you've never seen before, but it's just escapism, popcorn, entertainment. That's really all I want from a video game movie now. And I was really skeptical about Alicia Vikander stepping into the role of Lara Croft, because in the games, I just feel like, in the reboot games at least, when they cast Alicia Vikander, she didn't really embody what Lara Croft was. I'm not talking about the over-sexualized Lara Croft. No, I'm talking about the Lara Croft from the new rebooted games. That's less sexualized. It's just, for me, with Alicia Vikander, I just didn't see it in the face. Maybe it's because she didn't have the bangs coming down like Lara Croft does. But I gotta say, she is the best Lara Croft we've had on the screen. I think she's better than Angelina Jolie. She is a really good young Lara Croft, and they actually took their time to develop the character of Lara Croft. Yeah, sure, the first half hour of this movie is a bit slow. It might feel a bit choppy, unevenly paced, but it's because they're developing the character of Lara Croft. They're trying to show you that she's just an everyday average Joe Schmo like you and I, and her father was this obsessed archaeologist, and she soon discovers that. And they really do a good job of developing her character. However, the other characters in the movie, nothing. Like Matthias. He's literally in, like, 2 scenes in this movie, and he shows up just to wreak havoc, and he shows up about at the 40-minute mark to wreak havoc, and he's gone for a while, and he shows up for the last 45 minutes, and that's it. And there's really nothing there with him and the other characters, character development-wise, but they at least got the core of the character of Lara Croft embodied in this movie. And this is a pretty faithful adaptation to, at least elemental adaptation to the 2013 reboot. They get elements from the game in here that are really crowd-pleasing, that will make you be like, oh yeah, that's from the game, oh yeah, that's from the game. They did a really good job with that. The story itself doesn't really follow that closely with the game, which was kind of a bit of a disappointment. And there's a lot of exposition in this movie to kind of help guide you along for those who haven't really played the game. They changed some stuff, which I didn't really like. And I thought would just work better in the game, you know? But there are some emotional elements in this movie. Some times where you're just like, man, I feel bad for Lara Croft when she kills her first person. Yeah, that's tough. That's brutal. I would probably act the same way she did. In the game, she cries. She doesn't cry in this movie, but you can sense that she's just like, holy shit, what the hell did I just do? This movie is just it's a lot of fun. It defies physics for sure, but I mean, I'm not really going into a Tomb Raider movie or even playing a Tomb Raider game expecting it to be all that realistic. Yeah, sure. The 2013 Tomb Raider reboot game relies more on survival horror and adds a bit of realism to the story of Lara Croft, but I mean, she's falling down waterfalls, she's hanging upside down from trees, she's flying through trees. You're like, you would probably be dead. So yeah, I'm not expecting physics and realism to come into play with these movies. I just really want a fun action movie, and that's really what I got with this Tomb Raider. Even though there are scenes that just feel a bit choppy and just in there for the sake of having action, it is really fun. And even though the camera is a bit shaky in these scenes, it's shaky to the point where you can still understand what's going on. Now, let's talk about the final act of this movie, because the final act of this movie, to me, felt like not necessarily a ripoff or a homage to, but kind of a remake of the final act of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. As these events were unfolding on screen, it was distracting to think that, oh, I've seen this done a lot better before in the Last Crusade. And that's really what that whole sequence reminded me of. There's also the final scene of the movie, which is just total fan service. It is there for nothing else but fan service. And I'm just like, I get it. You have to do something, but I was just like, this is not necessary because we haven't gotten these elements in the reboot series yet. So I'm just like, you could have held off. And I am very curious to see if there will be a sequel to this movie, because I did have a fun time watching this movie. It's popcorn, entertainment, escapism fun. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm going to give Tomb Raider a B. Definitely, I wouldn't say this is my favorite video game adaptation. I think my favorite by far is the Prince of Persia movie, but this is probably right below that. So this is number 2, and this is a very, 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 very big step forward for the video game adaptations coming out of Hollywood. Directors, writers, take notice. Please, continue to make video game adaptations if you're going to make them like this. Just fun. I'm not necessarily asking for groundbreaking films with these type of movies. Just give me fun, entertaining movies, and if the story's lacking, as long as it's fun, I'm happy. Guys, thank you for watching my review of Tomb Raider. I will leave all my links to my social media accounts in the description below. You can check out some reviews I have done at the end of this video and subscribe at the end of this video. I'm signing off now. My name is Alex Madden, a certified G and a bona fide stud.